and look at it, maybe 2.5 requests. And the first one, I'll call on our staff to open. Mr. Baker.
I'm not sure. Okay, it is. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to present tonight. I will just start off by mentioning that this is, I believe, the third time this request has been heard. The request was tabled in the past so that the applicant would have time to present representative building elevations to you all, just to show what the proposed uses would look like on the site. I believe that the latest submission that staff received was this morning around 8:30. I believe that you all have had the opportunity to look at that. I will defer any questions about those proposed elevations to the applicants. It does look like they're in attendance, and I'm sure that they would be happy to answer any questions that you have. So this request is out of the Valley District. RYT LLC requests 2 special exception permits for light auto truck repair and mini warehouses, each with possible conditions in the Business B3 use district located on Lee Highway, Cloverdale, Virginia, approximately 0.2 miles south of the Simmons Drive intersection, and identified on tax maps as 1011118B. So this property is a vacant, currently a vacant parcel on Lee Highway, surrounded by zoning uses of industrial and commercial. Current land uses include Utility Trailer Sales of Virginia, Cleaning Equipment and Service Incorporated, Southeastern Freight Lines, and GFL Environmental Transfer Station site. The concept plan that was submitted on December of 29th, 2022 has not changed. So the number of structures, the size of the structures, the uses, all of that has remained the same. However, it has been a while since we've heard this, so I'll just provide a quick refresher for everybody. For the light vehicle truck repair use, that proposed use will be located in an 8-bay, 60 by 124 square foot garage building. Parking requirements for the use are 2 spots per garage bay and 1 spot per employee. The application indicates that approximately 8 employees will be on site for this use. So combined parking will be 24 spots. In addition to the required parking, the applicant is also proposing parking spots for truck parking. And just for reference, the light auto truck repair use is here in the middle, along with the parking that I mentioned. For the mini warehouses, the proposed mini warehouses will consist of 7 total structures. Parking requirements for the use are 1 spot for every 250 square feet of office space and 1 spot per employee. Proposed office space at the site will be 250 square feet or less, and the application indicates that approximately 3 employees will be on the site for the mini warehouse use, which will bring the combined required parking to 4 spots. In addition to this required parking, there will be 3 proposed RV parking spots as well. And that is facing Route 11, that is on your right here where my cursor is. To the far left, facing Route 11, here where my cursor is, there will be a screened fenced area beside the structure, the light auto truck repair structure for the proposed use of a towing lot, which is a permitted use in the B3 district. Basically, that just means that even if the SCPs were denied tonight, a towing lot could go there by right, just conditional on the site plan, which would be handled administratively by staff. If the SCPs are approved tonight, the parcel will be sold to Brandon Base, who operate light auto truck repair, mini warehouses, and towing lot under the name of Hometown Auto. If the SCPs are approved, a technical site plan will be required to show conformance to all applicable building and zoning laws. These next two slides show conditions for your consideration. Again, these have not changed, but it has been a while, so I will just read them again for the record. For the light auto vehicle and truck repair, all development shall remain in substantial conformance to the concept plan prepared by Engineering Concepts titled Hometown Auto and dated December 29, 2022. All vehicles awaiting repair that are kept overnight shall be stored within the fenced areas as shown on the concept plan and shall not be visible from any rights of way or adjacent properties. There shall be no outdoor storage of equipment or auto parts. Any noise generated by the development shall not violate provisions of the Botetourt County Noise Ordinance, and all other specifications and general provisions shall be met as required by the Botetourt County Zoning Ordinance. And in no instance shall the zoning conditions exempt a project from any from any local, state, federal development requirements, such are allowed by the zoning ordinance. For the mini warehouses, again, these are the same conditions that I just mentioned earlier, that all development shall remain in substantial conformance to the concept site plan. Noise generated shall not violate the Botetourt County Noise Ordinance, and all other specifications shall meet local, state, federal laws, except where allowed by the zoning ordinance. So that is all I have. Myself and the applicants are happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
Questions from board members? Anything?
There is which would be a by right use. So, if the SCPs were denied tonight, they could have a site plan, submit that, and that would be reviewed by staff administratively, and any questions, concerns that we have would be worked out, at our level.
And I think I'll wait to my next question. I'll ask when he comes down to ask him a couple
Sure.
questions. Yes, what I want to find out as far as the RV, when the RVs are stored, are they going to be hidden through?
Actually, there will be a facility in front of the RV parking and a screen fence around it. So ultimately, they'll be on the rear of the property and not visible to the street.
Okay, all right. So you wouldn't be able to see it as you drive by.
That is correct.
Okay. And then as far as the towing, how is that screened out all the way around?
It is. So ultimately, it would be a plastic PVC material that goes in between of a chain link fence, black chain link fence with a black PVC material that slides in between the chain link itself.
Good. I think that's it I have.
That's the whole front.
That is correct, yes. And, it would have a facade of landscaping and mulch and things of that nature. But overall, that would be the gist of how you would separate the wrecked vehicles, so you will, or broken down vehicles. And I just wanted to clarify that it isn't a heavy duty wrecker service. It is a light duty wrecker service that occupies to the actual garage itself.
Okay.
It's not really intended to haul tractor trailers in and out or anything of that nature. It primarily caters to the actual business at hand.
And not becoming a junkyard at any
That
point.
is correct. There's a big difference between a junkyard and an automotive service center.
Yeah.
The goal would be something similar to Cavalier Automotive.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
that's good.
Anything else? Questions? You all good?
Y'all okay with the conditions?
Sounds good.
What's your timeline?
I would say 12 to 18 months.
It's pretty quick. That for your side, and that's also for the storage?
That's correct. Yes, I would construct them both at one time.
I'll ask a question that we all know the answer to. But I wonder what you all think about this. The condition that there be no outdoor storage of parts or equipment. That's simple enough, but it also kind of depends on definitions and time and all that. So what do you do with your, what do you plan to do with your parts and equipment, whatever that means is, I'm just kind of troubled by not by what you're proposing, but what we're saying now, outdoor storage of parts or equipment. So how do you guys interpret that? Is that,
Let me say, he did a place on Peters Creek Road. You know where Peters Creek in Hurstburger is?
yeah,
It was a garage and it was a mess. He went in and bought it. He cleaned it up and there was nothing in front of it. Now he sold that, but it looked like something you wouldn't mind being across from your house.
mhm.
It was really nice. It looked really clean. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay, so,
That's just the way he does. It's really nice, neat, clean.
yeah.
Yeah, professionally, that's what I do. I build new construction homes and renovate and flip real estate. That is what I personally do to make a living. The automotive service center is something that I've always been involved with. I went to school for welding, automotive service, and it's just something I find a natural joy to. My family, they own service centers and upholstery centers and things of that nature. So it comes natural for me to understand that business and how it works. But I do hold a high expectation for my employees and the standard that we hold, I feel is very high. Especially because I would want my family to bring their children there and it'd be okay. The simple fact that I know exactly what you're talking about, the junkyard mentality, and that doesn't give the automotive service center a good name. And that's not a name I'm willing to, I'm not signing people's checks, and that's not how it's going to be at my place. It's just, I have a very high expectation of the way I want something done.
Okay, well, that's good, because this is, as you know, it's a visible site, so glad you have
Sure,
that.
and Ed Spangler, the guy that owns the property next door, is a family friend of mine. Any of those would vouch for me on that one.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from board members?
Nothing.
And I will open the public hearing.
You guys are good.
Questions or comments from the public on this issue? Anything from the public? I'll close the
Want to
public.
speak?
Yeah, I'll close the public hearing. And the matter lies before us. Two matters: light truck and auto repair and mini storage warehouses.
Yeah. I think that they did give the elevations. I was hoping to see a little bit more on the elevation, but they did provide those this morning, which was needed and what was asked for. Under the conditions and for the special exception, I would, if there's no other questions with anybody, I certainly would suggest that we recommend with the conditions as follows.
Recommend approval with conditions.
Absolutely.
The conditions that the planning commission imposed?
Correct. The 1 through 5.
Yeah, okay. And that's for a truck repair, auto and truck repair?
Right.
Do these separately. Okay, Dr. Scott Horn has moved for approval.
I'll second.
This is with the conditions of the light truck and auto repair. It's been seconded.
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, on the second portion, it would have the planning committee, with as far as the mini warehouse special exception with the conditions as well. I move to approve.
Dr. Scott Horn has moved for approval of the many warehouses as conditioned in our package. Discussion of any kind, any questions? All right, we'll move for approval. Do I hear a motion?
That
You did. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That matter carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
John, are you next? You have.
Good evening again, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Before you tonight is a request for a rezoning from rural residential to agricultural A1 use district. For the record, Amsterdam District Jeremy D. and Megan E. Henderson requested rezoning from the rural residential use district to the agricultural use district with possible proffered conditions located at 2920 Catawba Road, Troutville, identified on the tax maps as 87-26B. This is a fairly straightforward request. The Hendersons would like to place a accessory building in the front yard of the property. RR does not permit that. A1 does, as long as it's outside of that setback there. The surrounding property, as you see here, is all zoned A1, so it would be kind of fitting in with that current character of the property. This gives you an overview of the surrounding area just from a satellite image. The highlighted parcel is the one in question. The applicants have drawn up a preliminary plat. So the property itself is 1.57 acres, which is a little too small to meet the 2.25 acre requirement for A1. So to not create a non-conforming lot, they are pulling in some property, I believe, from their parents. They own the surrounding parcel there. They're pulling in just enough to get to that 2.25 acre minimum. It meets all the required regulations for the A1 use district. So lot size, lot width, all that fun stuff, road frontage as well. This, the applicant has not issued any proffers. So this is truly just for illustrative purposes. This is what has been submitted as kind of a site plan that shows the intent of where the building may be. The applicants are here today, so they would be able to speak more to what their intent is with the building, where it is being placed on the property, the kind of material they intend to use in their time frame. But I wanted to include this just to give you an idea of where they intend to place it. Again, there's no proffer statement submitted, so there's nothing technically holding them to that if you all were to grant them approval. So the action tonight is fairly straightforward. It's a rezoning from RR to A1. Be happy to answer any questions you have. Otherwise, the applicants are represented here and would be happy to answer questions as well.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. How does the board feel about it? Any comments or questions? I don't have any as well. I'll open the public hearing. Public, any comments? Close the public hearing. And this is pretty straightforward, benign matter, I think. It's in my district. Without further ado, I will move for approval with no conditions. So I'll move for approval as submitted.
Second.
And seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That matter is approved. Thank you, sir. And that concludes our business for tonight. Thank you for being here. We're adjourned.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
It's been approved. Now it's official.
Exactly. Always have.